All right, this is the first day of ukulele practice. Typically, we give the students, I announced it at back to school night to the parents that we're going to do ukulele. Last year, fortunately, we got 10 ukuleles from Donors Choose, so I was able to let 8 students borrow ukuleles this year. I'm going to be showing them how to use this book that I created to self-learn ukulele. Now, they've all brought about 22 students brought their own ukuleles that they purchased at various music sources, such as online. I mean, I'm not picky about it. Some people even brought ukuleles from Hawaii, and those work. So there's no reason for me to turn away any ukuleles unless they are ridiculously impossible to make work. Okay, so this is the ukulele I use sometimes. This is the book that they're going to be having, and everyone has a ukulele or access to a ukulele, but they are not to touch it. I told them to keep their hands in their laps, and some people, their hands keep going near the ukulele, and that's not something I'm going to allow them to do. Because once you allow one person to move their hands around, pretty soon while you're talking, you're hearing all these random noises, and they're very disruptive. See, his hands right there started moving. Okay, control and discipline is very important. So that's something that we learn during music, is not to be tempted to touch it. Even if I demonstrate something, I don't expect you to start doing it until I say, okay, you may start practicing it and trying it. Then you're allowed to pick it up. But what happens when I say the word set your ukulele? Raise your hand if you know. Thank you for being disciplined and not just blurting out an answer. Yes?
You put your ukulele down.
You will put your ukulele, and where will you put your hands? Your ukulele's on your desk and your hands are in your lap. So let's see where your hands are right now. This is very important, because in past years I hadn't said this rule, and now that I'm saying this rule, I'm expecting to not have any random noise. Okay, now there's somebody whose hand isn't in their lap right now. I told you. For no reason should you ever have your hands anywhere than in your lap while I am talking. Waiting. Thank you for putting your hands in your lap. Okay, now what's special about this book? And while I'm teaching the world, or whoever is on YouTube, what I did with this book in order to create it, I created this book from materials that were available online. So I'll give credit where credit is due. One of the things that I did was I took Michelle Kiba's Pa Mele o Hokuleya Ukulele Academy. Don't touch it. You don't need to. Discipline is the most important thing right now. Now this right here is a chord chart that they will be using. If you are touching things, I'll ask you to stand up. So you may please stand up. I told you to keep your hands in your lap. Don't touch anything, please. Next person that keeps their hands out of their lap will be forced to stand. And we have to be very disciplined during music, otherwise things go crazy. And I'm going to be hyper disciplined right now. So, you can print that off of Google, and then you would have that in your student book. Then I took those pages and I cut all the little chords out, and I arranged them in an easy to correlate manner where, if you see it, I put all the C notes right here that are on one string, and if you just move your finger up and down, they're very closely related. I have this group of chords that is closely related, and all it is a bar chord, and it just go boom, 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 boom. I put them in order, and that's just if people want to experiment with chords so that they could say, okay, I know how to do C, C7, C major, and C6. So this is C, C7, C major, and C6. This is C, C7, C major, C6. And all it is that's 4 chords. If you can do that, you've already learned 4 chords. Now, in order to do these chords, B flat minor 7, D flat 6, B minor 7, D 6, E flat 6, C minor 7, and D, B minor 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chords. It goes like this. That's 2 chords. This is B flat minor 7 and D6, D minor, or D flat 6. So right there you've learned 11 chords. So just going like this, and that's 11 chords you would have learned. And that's an easy way to pick up new chords and just be able to say, oh, I know 11 chords. I sat there for 5 minutes and learned like 26 chords. I'm so awesome. And it gives kids a sense of accomplishment to be able to do that. So I give them these pages. You won't be able to find that anywhere online. Sorry. Not unless I make it and then post it online. which maybe I will, I don't know. I don't know how to do that, so I'm just showing you how I did it. Then we've got McDonald's, and all of these songs are from, the songs that I got from here, most of them are from, many of them, the easy ones are from dryuki.com, songs.html. dryuki.com, songs.html. And they actually have little sound bars that you can click and it'll play the song for you. You may sit down. It'll play the song for you so that you'll know how the song or how the melody goes. So, the first song that we will learn is McDonald's, which is very simple. It contains the chords C, G7, and F. Then I ordered the next song, Amazing Grace, which has C, F, G7. And you'll notice both songs use the exact same chords. My next chord, or my next song, uses the chords C, G7, C7. So that adds one new chord, but it's a very simple chord to learn. The next song on top, this one was Camptown Races. So we went from McDonald's to Amazing Grace to Camptown Races to On Top of Spaghetti, which takes the C, the F, the G7, and the C7. So for 4 songs, we've only learned 4 chords. And I do that because I want to progress to more difficult songs, but first, most of my songs are just based on the ones that I chose from Dr. Yuki are very simple songs. Okay? Now, what I do is I have all these little things in here and just showing them after we learn maybe a week, every week we learn 1 or 2 songs. Then eventually they will be allowed to pick songs off of the internet, because on the internet they have like yukichords.com, and they will have learned where to find chords. In fact, on many websites, the Yuki lyric channels, they have all the modern music set to easy chords or a selection of chords, and they can pick which are the easiest chords, and then after that they can start playing the popular music as long as appropriate lyrics are in that song. Then I will be fine. In my class they then will form bands, and we show the videos online. But before they form bands, they have to prove that they're worth a band. So they have to practice their music so that people will know what they're getting into. You'll have to perform your first song on your own, so that if you think you're worthy of being in a band, then people will at least know what you're capable of. So I recommend that you practice well enough in order to deserve being in a band. Then again, some people never join a band. It's not required. Some people are just, they stand alone and they're fine with that, and I'm fine with that too. Because this is just an introductory opportunity for kids to learn ukulele. Now typically we spend about 30 minutes each week practicing ukulele and in our bands. And if students were practicing at home, they can just perform on that Friday. Now since nobody has practiced yet, we're going to first introduce the basics. Now, one of the basic things that you're going to need to know, oh sorry, that belonged to somebody, I'll pick that up later, is to hold your ukulele, put it like this, kind of like, you know, you're tucking it right here in your arm. So what I will ask you to do now is you can pick up your ukulele and tuck it, but do not strum the strings, because I don't want to hear a cacophony of noise. I do not want to hear a cacophony of noise. So you're going to hold it like this, you're going to put it over here, and you're going to cradle it like a baby. Like this is the head of the baby, and you're just cradling it. The other hand then has to hold its leg. Okay? So if you were to hold it like this, this is usually going to be your left hand, but some people might decide they want to go the other way. If so, you're going to have to figure out how to do that, because I don't know how to go left-handed. Sorry. Maybe they have left-handed ukuleles available, in which case all the lessons would be the same. You would still have to press the similar chords, except it might be flipped upside down tuning or something. Or maybe you could take the strings and then put them out of order and maybe go left-handed. Instead of, you would flip the strings and then tune it accordingly and then go the other way. Do you think that would probably work?
Yeah.
Probably, but you'd have to file down the little grooves here to make sure that the strings fit properly. Okay, so this is called strumming. Do not put your fingers anywhere on here right now. I just want you to put your thumb goes to the back and you pinch this way, and you're just gonna hold it and let the strings go loose and go. Use your thumb to strum. You may do that now. want you to go like this. Thumb, index finger, thumb. We're gonna do that together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So thumb, finger, thumb. Thumb, finger, thumb. Thumb, finger, thumb. Okay, stop. That's called strumming. Whenever you use your hand to strum, or your fingers to strum, you don't need a guitar pick. But a lot of you children, because you have soft and tender fingers, will feel soreness from pressing down the strings. You'll feel soreness on your fingers from strumming initially in the first week that you're practicing. And that's natural. Okay? Don't feel like, oh, my fingers are falling apart, I need to see a doctor. No, it's gonna feel sore. Your fingertips might feel sore, especially because when you're new to this, you press way harder than you need to. You know you're pressing the right amount if you listen. Set your ukuleles, and I just want you to listen this time. And you're gonna watch how I do things. All right, this is called open strings. Now your hands are in your lap, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Every single table has hands on their laps. And I told them they have to get a perfect dozen today. And so, because when I looked around, everybody had their hands on their laps, they get a tally mark. Now, if you strum, I will give you a -1 smile. So don't strum while I'm talking, don't touch your ukulele, don't touch your books. Okay, what you're gonna have to remember is when you hold it, you tuck it here. Never do you hold your ukulele here and strum, because I've seen that in previous years where kids are going like this. And I say they can't do anything because it's not stable and it's not easy to strum then. So when you want to strum, you have to have this cradled. You can take your arm and press against the bottom, and it's not going anywhere. There's no need for you to hold it like this. It's very cumbersome and too difficult to play that way. So, this is a C. This is the first chord you're going to learn, and you're not touching your ukuleles. That's C. And you'll notice when I press it, I put my thumb on the back, and I arch my fingers. Look. I arch my fingers like a rainbow. Everybody see that rainbow?
Yeah.
So I have my thumb back here, and it's almost like I'm making a letter C with my hands, but the thumb is pressing directly on the back of the spine of the neck. This is called the neck, anatomy lesson. This is the neck. Everybody say neck.
Neck.
This is the head.
Head.
This is the body.
Body.
This is a sound hole.
Sound hole.
These are the strings.
Strings.
Every one of these areas that you press between is called a fret. Say it.
Fret.
Okay, this is a fret, 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 fret. These are frets. We usually stay within the top 3 frets. That's why it keeps it very simple. And when you get songs online, make sure the songs that you get online are easy enough for you to understand, and the chords, you can get to select what type of chords you use. You just have to sing at the pitch that whatever the chords are. So there's easy chords, but you might have to adjust your pitch, and it might not sound like the original singer's pitch that you are singing along with. If you pick a certain song like by Taylor Swift, if you want to sing her pitch, they might have complicated chords, but if you have a varied vocal range and you might want to go deeper, then you can maybe hit some easier chords. Or if you want to go higher, you just have to be able to be flexible with what pitch you want to see, and you'll see that later on. I know that's a little bit complicated for some people. This is F, and that's G7. So those are the 3 chords you're going to have to learn to play, I think, the first song, maybe or maybe not. But listen, can I see, may I borrow your book? The first song, McDonald's, you're not going to play it yet. You've seen all the things that I've done. What did I do with my fingers? Do I arch them or do I keep them flat?
Arch.
You don't want to make it look like you're eating like a fajita or a taco that's all flat-handed. You want to be a hamburger like grip, which is like huge. Maybe you're going to like a really fancy place and they got massive hamburgers, like a 1-pound hamburger. Your hand has to go this big. But if you go to like, you know, a sandwich shop, then you might eat like a deli sandwich that's only this big, like grilled cheese. This is a grilled cheese, this is a hamburger. I want your hamburger-sized grip, okay? Now the first song, super easy. This is your book. You can stand over here and hold it like this for me. You're my music stand. That's your book, okay. Just don't get into the frame. All right, now hold it like that. Now the first song, it says, pluck this string open to find the note the first word is sung to. muck, muck, McDonald's. It says third finger, first string. This is your first string. This is my third finger. You're not playing yet, but you can look at your ukulele, but you can't touch it. Now you're watching me. Third finger, third fret. Remember how I taught you about frets? But I strum it. So I don't have to focus on that one string. I'm strumming all four strings. Muck, remember that muck? McDonald's is your kind of place. Just my thumb. Hamburgers in your face. Shift to G7. French fries up your nose. Mustard between your toes. The last time that I ate there, they stole my underwear. McDonald's is a place for me. And here's the flourish. F, C. And if you did it just that simply, I'd be very happy to hear that. That's an easy song, isn't it? Now, you don't have to get all fancy. All right, shh. And I even show you, for this one, you'll notice you have to move the appropriate, efficient finger in order to make sure that you're making your life easier. I show you, this is the third finger on the third fret for a reason. We don't start like this, even though it makes the same exact sound, right? You notice that? It makes the same exact sound if I use my third finger or if I use my first finger. But then to transition and shift, it's much harder to get to this G7 note. So this will be my first finger, second finger, third finger. So here's my third finger, and then I just shift here. And that should be really easy. Got it? So we go. Now, you might be one of these really advanced people that don't want to do simple strumming. Maybe you already take guitar lessons like some of my students do, and they already know how to strum guitar-style strumming. Well, you can modify your strumming. Strumming, it doesn't matter what you do with this hand. What you're focusing on is that you're doing the right things with this hand that's on the nut. Or that's not on the nut. This is the nut, by the way. This is the bridge for more anatomy. And these are the tuning pegs. This type of tuning peg doesn't go out of tune that easily. But sometimes we have other types that are friction pegs that go out of tune more easily. Okay, put that up. All right, I'm ready now. Now watch this. I'm going to do McDonald's again, but this time I'm going to do it with this different strum pattern. A fancier strum pattern. Okay, now it doesn't even have to be that fancy. You could just go. Now remember how I had you do thumb and then finger, thumb and then finger? I could just go thumb, finger, thumb and finger, thumb and finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, na 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 na. That's as simple as that is. So at first I did it and you thought it was awesome, right? You're like, oh, well this is good enough. Nothing wrong with adding the finger. McDonald's is your kind of place. Hamburgers in your face. French fries up your nose. Mustard between your toes. The last time that I ate there, they stole my underwear. McDonald's is a place for me. And that was just adding your index finger. Now my favorite strum sounds like this. Now I'm not going to teach you how to do that because you guys will invent your own strums, right? So for me, this was typically my guitar strum that I just converted to a ukulele strum, and I just did the same exact thing. McDonald's is your kind of place. Hamburgers in your face. French fries up your nose. Mustard between your toes. The last time that I ate there, they stole my underwear. McDonald's is a place for me. And you'll notice each time it's still, okay, thank you. It's still the same thing I'm doing with these fingers. I haven't changed what I do with these fingers. I just changed what I do with my strumming hand. So the most basic form is fine. Just your thumb. And just do it on beat. This is on beat. This is easy for you, then do this. And if you want to experiment with other types of strums, then you can. But First off, try just getting the thumb down and getting it on beat. Now I'm gonna allow you to follow along with me right now. So go to your seats and pick up your ukuleles. Okay, then borrow one from the wall on that side. Walk around that way. All right, so C, G7, F. Start off with the C, everyone. Third finger, third fret. It says so right there. No. Turn to McDonald's. It shows you the chord right there. There, just do that. There you go. And make sure when you look at it that it's decently arced so that you know that you're not going to buzz any other strings. Work from getting to C, 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 G, C, 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 oops, G, C, F. Just these two.